Hi, welcome to Unique Parenting. I am V Moise, and today actually we're going to talk about just parents and what are some things that you can do as a parent to really help you on your parenting journey. I know personally I've struggled with a couple of these myself because it's hard for me not to do some of the things that I'm actually going to tell you to do. It's difficult for me, right? And really when you do these things, you're not just helping your child, but you're really helping yourself. But really, this is for you. Number one, don't fix everything because you can't, right? Like sometimes kids just need to experience certain things, go through certain things, feel certain things in order to grow. So don't try to fix everything. There's a lot of growth that comes from a child just experiencing a little bit of difficulty, not too much to break them, but just enough to build character and to build resiliency for the future. Number two, remember that discipline is not punishment. Okay, so when you're disciplining your child, you're not punishing them. Discipline done correctly. Discipline can look like it's a punishment, especially if the child is responding in a really severe way or overreacting to your type of discipline, but it's not punishment. It really is how your child will learn about life and the natural consequences that comes with being in this world and figuring out how to problem solve and things like that. So discipline is not a punishment, and it is okay. Like it is 100% okay to discipline your child. It is recommended, it is good for them, and it's beneficial for both you and your child just to set some boundaries and that they understand that you're a person and these are your limitations and these are your boundaries, so they can also set boundaries and limitations for themselves as they grow up and as they go into the world. So discipline is not a bad thing. It's really good, and it is not a type of punishment. Number three, pick your battles. Not everything needs to be debated over, argued over. Sometimes letting a child what may appear to be winning or win, it's okay. It's not a big deal. Pick your battles. Too many rules to kids can turn them off completely, and now you really can't get the really important stuff in. So really pick wisely, pick your battles, pick some of the most important things to you, and as your child grow, you can add to that. Like you can definitely say, oh, now we're going to talk about this and this, but pick your battles. Don't over discipline. It's not worth it, because ultimately you're trying to create a nurturing and positive parenting experience. So it's okay to not win every battle. Number four, schedule time to bond with your child. This is so important. And when I say time, we're talking about maybe 10 to 15 minutes of, you just connecting with your kid with no interruption. So no phones, no screens, no book, nothing, just you and your child. Even if it's 5 minutes, just, purposeful, connective time with your child, talking about their day, talking about anything really. When they're young, let them talk. Just let them go on and on and on about whatever they want. And as they get older, you can transition that into more important issues, into things that are more pressing and things that's bothering them. If you create that bond when they're young, it is a lot easier to continue that when they're older. So do not cut off your young child because that, conversation about that rock or whatever it is that they're talking about when they're 2 transform into a conversation about sex, drugs, and alcohol or anything like that when they're in their teen years, especially if they're seeing it, if they're experiencing it, if they're around it. It's just a natural dialogue progression. If you start young, it can continue into older age. Number 5, encourage daddy time. Daddy time is so good. Like it is so important for kids to bond with their fathers, to experience what it is to go through all the different emotions of the male spectrum. Really just have that time. My kids are extremely mommy focused, and sometimes it's overwhelming. So you really have to redirect that energy, especially if you're constantly mommy. You need your downtime, but encourage father time, and also do not interrupt father time, and don't dictate how it should go. I can't dictate to my husband how to be a dad because I'm a mom. That's my role. So just let them bond and nurture and grow the way that they're going to grow. It's usually a beautiful bond if you have that experience. So encourage that time. Encourage also mommy time. If your child is particularly fond of just one parent, definitely encouraging parenting time with each other, but definitely don't forget about the dads out there. Okay. Maintain a balance. Number 6, you have to maintain a balance between your work life. If you're working mom, if you're not a working mom but you work in a home, you still have to maintain a balance because there's no clocking off. You're on all the time. So you have to decide, okay, at this time I'm just gonna read a book, do something for myself, do some exercise, yoga, whatever it may be, but try to maintain a balance. Turn off certain things, clock off at certain times, just so you can create a balance for yourself. Life can be incredibly hectic. Being a parent is hard work. Being a parent takes up a lot of your time, but you have to figure out how to create a balance so that you can continue to do this job, because it's a lifelong job and it's a lifelong journey. So definitely try and figure out what works best for you in terms of balance. If it's waking up early to get, a 5-minute yoga session in, if it's, staying up late to go running, whatever it may be, just figure out what's a balance for you, how you can stay healthy, putting in exercise and all these different things that are good for you, but also good for your kids to see. Kids need to see a balance so that they can in return have a balanced life. So maintain a balance. Just say no. Number 7, just say no. Like, it is okay to say no to things, to people, to your kids. It's fine to say no. I mean, repeated no sometimes can become exhausting, but just say no. Like, it's not a big deal if you just say no. I mean, it's something that you need as a parent, saying no to people, saying no to your kids, saying no to obligations, saying no to signing up for that mommy bake off or whatever it may be, or that parent PTO, whatever. Just say no. Like, again, that's kind of tied into maintaining a balance, but just to say no really helps you grow as an individual, but it also helps your children set boundaries for them. Do not accept disrespect from your child. Okay, that's number 8. It's so easy to allow children to disrespect us, especially when they're young, because it's not a big deal. Like, it's not really something that you think about. It's like, it's no big deal. Like, especially if they're little. But don't allow a child to disrespect you repeatedly, because they will think this is how they can treat another human being, another person. And before you were a parent, you were a person. So you must also let your children honor the fact that you're a person, you're an individual, you're an adult, you have a life outside of a parent. You're not just mommy or daddy, you are a person. So allow them to know that person and not to continuously disrespect that individual. Number 9, avoid comparison and labels. There is no greater disservice you can do for yourself than to really let your life be compared to someone else. It's so easy to get on social media and look at somebody's highlight reel and think, oh man, they have like a really great life and this looks fantastic and I wish I could do that. I wish I could travel here. I wish I could take these family pictures. Don't do that. Don't compare yourself. One of my favorite traditions for my family, I love pictures. I love family pictures. I think it's because I don't have a lot of baby pictures, so there's definitely some I need to heal from this moment. So for me, I overdo the pictures. I take a lot of pictures, and every year we take family pictures. And during that time, there's no movement. There's no playing. It's very serious for me because I'm like, we have to take this picture seriously. And in that moment, to take 2 or 3 pictures that's going to end up on, the card, it's a lot of stress. But it really isn't real life. It's literally 30 minutes of a fake reality because I'm making my kids do this thing. I do think they enjoy it, but I'm forcing them to do this thing and interact in this way that's not real. And then of course I have this beautiful product at the end, and it looks like, wow, this is such a picture perfect family, but what it took to get that picture and the irritation, and of course what happened immediately once we were done with that picture, that's real life. So really don't compare your life to someone else's picture perfect moment, right? Because what it took for them to get there is not the same as reality. So just really allow your kid to not allow your kid, but definitely don't compare your life to other individuals. And my last one is, it's so important for kids to make mistakes. It really truly is. You have to let children make all the mistakes that they can, because that's their job. Their sole purpose in life is to make mistakes, learn from those mistakes, and grow. Childhood is the time for children to make mistakes and create things and learn from them. So really protecting your child from mistakes and trying to create this fake, reality of how life looks is not beneficial to children. It's not beneficial to their development. It is important for kids to make mistakes, learn from them, and try to do it, differently, a different way. Sometimes kids will make repeated mistakes of the same thing. Again, that's part of learning. So those are my, top 10 things in terms of just how to really allow yourself to be the best parent that you can be. And I really enjoy those. So thank you. Enjoy your unique parenting journey with your unique kids. Have a good one.